A quick demo on DealDesk and Prophetic. DealDesk is comprised of two pieces: projects, which is the ability to save promising acquisition targets, aka save parcels of land, and pipeline, which is the stage of acquisition that each of those projects is at. We'll first start by selecting a parcel, and let's go ahead and assume that we'll be buying these three parcels together. So I'm going to hold Shift and select 1, 2, and 3. Let's make it all 5, 4, and 5 parcels. Now we have 84 assembled acres here. I'm going to go ahead and save to a project. On the left-hand side, it goes and loads my projects that I have on file. I can add to an existing project or just create new. I can name it whatever I'd like. Example 1. I'm going to go ahead and create the project. Now all 5 of these parcels will shade themselves in and are shown here on the left-hand side as an entire project. Now, if I log in the next day and I have a clean slate, how do I get back to that project I just created? Well, I just go up to my map layers. First, I can turn on my projects layer, which will showcase all of my projects as pins on the map. And then I can go into my projects tab and click that specific project. Let's go ahead and flag this and assume that we have wetlands issues and tree problems, and there's a tear down we have to deal with. Tags are a very effective way to stay organized, both at the divisional level and at the corporate level. The reason that DealDesk is so incredibly valuable to our enterprise clients is because it allows the divisions to go hunt and analyze land. They know their markets best. They're going to take really high quality notes on these acquisition targets. Yet our API connects with the corporate data systems. So every piece of dirt that the division touches, whether it's a yes, no, or maybe acquisition target, eventually all that data ends up in your corporate data repository. So it's an incredibly efficient way for the divisions to stay organized, but for corporate to build a war chest of proprietary acquisition data. So the more tags they do, the more info they input. Let's assume I ran a site plan with Site AI earlier and I can get 400 lots out of here. Let's assume I talk to the owner and it's going to be $1 million to buy the whole assemblage. All this information I save, and we're going to put it under contract next week, and that'll be due several weeks down the road, several months. All this information, and I can add custom fields as well, is now saved onto the dirt. And this is, again, the beauty of DealDesk. We'll keep the backend data up to date. Zoning, MLS data, ownership contact information, tax information. Our systems keep that up to date at all times. Your team institutionalizes its knowledge and bakes all of their research onto those parcels. So they can do that by inputting these fields, uploading files and photos, saving their site plans from Site AI here. They can even create custom map shapes and mark areas that are, protected trees or whatever that might be by saving an annotation. And they can even come down here and take notes as a team, all of which is saved onto the project and timestamps and attributes it to the user themselves. From here, I can actually export a PDF of this entire project, which is a beautiful, robust document that can be shared with brokers, landowners, or your internal team. And then all my projects are shown here, which I can easily scan through, and I see my total, and I can filter by my teammate as well. If we zoom out, we can see all of our projects at scale here on the map. So we'll see these colorful pins appear momentarily, and I can see where each of these projects is at in my pipeline. To get to pipeline, I simply go and click pipeline in the top right. And this is my visual dashboard of every acquisition target and where it's at in the acquisition process. Each of these stages is customized. We help you do all this during setup. So we'll define it with you at the corporate level. And that is incredibly important because if corporate defines the 5, 7, 8, whatever stages that you want to use for your pipeline, we can then standardize that across all divisions. And now you can start to run analytics and determine why Division 1 is dramatically outperforming Division 7. Well, we see that they're saving 3 times as many parcels. They're progressing them from stage 1 to stage 2 at a rate that's 23% faster. You get the idea. It allows for very, very clean data analytics. When I'm ready to progress a parcel from stage 1 to 2, I simply click and drag. And then I can also view a calendar of all my key dates. I can filter based on tags. I can filter on keywords and see what my teammate Ramey's up to. Great. And then I can even customize my colors. That's DealDesk and Prophetic, using projects in combination with pipeline and helping your division stay organized, which also helps corporate build a war chest of proprietary land acquisition data.